many different forces throughout history. It's not just evil in the world. There is good as well. But the good have to stand up. My friends, the enemy loves to brag openly about their plans to enslave us. They've done just that. Yet again admitting that once they register the guns, they will confiscate the guns of the American people. And we have it on video. We're going to be breaking it tonight, Tuesday, April 9th, 2013. I'm Alex Jones. This is InfoWars Nightly News, and this is The Resistance.
Tonight, Democrats admit plans to register and confiscate firearms.
First of all, to the gentleman that's dying for attention, someone needs to inform him that there is no gun ban currently. But because of the work that we're doing here today, we will make your side legitimate shortly. So you hang on to that.
Then, the Hacken family kidnaps their own children and escapes to Cuba. Plus, Big Sis is testing drones that can detect guns. And a veteran of the Black Panther Party says the DHS arms buildup is for war against the American people. That's up next on the InfoWars Nightly News.
My friends, first off tonight, the reason I got angry at Piers Morgan and got in his face was because he's up there claiming he doesn't want to ban our guns when the UN treaty, the globalists in every other country, and the Democrats predominantly in the United States have banned guns completely for the citizens everywhere they're in control, turning the cities into crime-ridden hellholes like Chicago, New York, and other areas. And we have the countless clips we're going to play in a moment of Dianne Feinstein saying if she can get the votes, she'll ban our guns. And the Attorney General saying he wants to brainwash the public against guns. We know their mission. But just a few days ago, here in Austin, Texas, the Austin police chief, who's now up in D.C. calling for restrictions on the Second Amendment, and Mike Martinez, the Austin city councilman who's set to become mayor very soon, Martinez openly got up in front of the crowd where a pro-gun demonstrator was there saying, you want to confiscate guns? And he said, listen, we're not going to take your guns right now. What we do here today will then lead to confiscating your guns. And, of course, he's talking about what they've done all over the world, what they've done in Chicago and New York and other areas. First they register, then they confiscate. And any type of violence using guns is then blamed on gun owners when gun owners have really lowered the crime rate by 49% in the last 20 years because of gun ownership going up. And that's the FBI's own numbers, but they'll never show those numbers on the news. That's why we show those numbers here. But I hope viewers understand something. We've got Time Magazine coming out and saying anybody that says the government's authoritarian is un-American. That's because it really hurts them. That's because they are becoming authoritarian. Just because Obama is a Democrat doesn't mean that he's really a, quote, liberal. Thomas Jefferson was a liberal. These are authoritarians. While they buy billions of bullets and thousands of armored vehicles and fully auto weapons, and their training manuals say it's for Christians and gun owners and conservatives and libertarians and everybody else, basically, who won't toe the line for their tyranny. These are social engineers that are taking over our society, who say that our children belong to the state. These people are taking over. This is a major offensive they've launched. But the good news is they're so arrogant that they're openly bragging more and more about what their real plan is. And so you need to go out to all their anti-gun victim disarmament rallies, their monopoly of power rallies, their tyranny rallies, and show them. They're saying this all over the country. It's like Hitler saying, you know, today Germany, tomorrow the world. They're like, today we register, tomorrow we take your guns. You've got to show that they're disingenuous, because there are lots of useful idiots like the Democrat out in Colorado, the state rep, who thinks magazines are disposable. There's lots of idiots like her.
I'm the prime House co-sponsor on the ban of the high-capacity magazines. What's the efficacy of banning these magazine clips? I will tell you, these are ammunition. They're bullets. So the people who have those now, they're going to shoot them. And so if you ban them in the future, the number of these high-capacity magazines is going to decrease dramatically over time because the bullets will have been shot and there won't be any more available.
But they're the useful idiots. The people on top and the people that are smart like Martinez, they understand to be tyrants like King George of England or Santa Anna of Mexico. You've got to take the guns. And to do that, you've got to first say it's for the children. Just give us your guns. So I'm going to play this piece showing what he had to say, and then we're going to come back and give you his phone number and give you the other collaborators' phone numbers at the city council so you can call and let them know, because they are globalist authoritarians. It's the Wall Street, Rothschild, Rockefeller frontman, Bloomberg, spending the money he got through all the Wall Street scams to come in here and take over America. The foreign banks get $85 billion a month of our money. Of course they want to secure the country and make sure they can rob us. Of course they want our guns while they arm to the teeth. And they're using these children. These are conscious authoritarians. Because there he is going, we're not taking your guns now. What we do here will set the stage, the registration. That's what they're calling for. Then we'll ban your guns. And the crowd goes wild. This is how liberty dies, to thunderous applause. Let's go to this report.
Austin City Council Member Mike Martinez.
Thank you so much. I've got a proclamation on behalf of the Mayor and City Council that we want to present, but I want to say a couple of words, and I'll be brief. First of all, to the gentleman that's dying for attention, someone needs to inform him that there is no gun ban currently, but because of the work that we're doing here today, we will make your side legitimate shortly, so you hang on to that.
Alex Jones here for InfoWars Nightly News with a gun owner emergency alert. We sent our reporters out to the Texas Capitol here in Austin to film the Mayor Bloomberg-sponsored event with the Austin Police Chief calling for the restriction of the Second Amendment, shutting down the gun shows, not having private sales, restricting, quote, high-capacity magazines. And City Councilman Mike Martinez, who's set to be the next mayor, came out and pointed at a man in the audience who had a sign saying, stop the gun ban. And he said, listen, buddy, you're trying to make attention yelling over there. We're going to play the clip here in a moment. He says, that's not happening yet, but once we do this, that is going to happen, to thunderous applause. Everywhere these collectivists have been in control, not just worldwide, but in Chicago, New York, and other areas, they've banned the guns. But first, they register them. First, they register them. And he says to them, hey, we're not banning your guns right now. We're going to do what we're doing now, which is registration, and then we're going to take them. And that's what they've done everywhere, and that's what's so frustrating about this. We have the clip of the Attorney General, back when he was Deputy Attorney General, saying we're going to brainwash the public against guns in the media.
And what we need to do is change the way in which people think about guns, especially young people. One thing that I think is clear with young people and with adults as well is that we just have to be repetitive about this. It's not enough to simply have a catchy ad on a Monday and then only do it every Monday. We need to do this every day of the week and just really brainwash people into thinking about guns in a vastly different way.
And then, of course, we have the clip of Dianne Feinstein on 60 Minutes saying if she had the votes, Mr. and Mrs. America, turn in your semi-autos.
If I could have gotten 51 votes in the Senate of the United States for an outright ban, picking up every one of them, Mr. and Mrs. America, turn them all in, I would have done it.
And after they've gotten those, they're going to take all the rest. The truth is they're buying billions of bullets, they're buying armored vehicles. This is an authoritarian takeover. And when Obama was a state senator, he was for the total abolition of firearms ownership. The UN treaty they're trying to ratify right now in the Senate does the same thing. And they admit it in our face. Even deep in the heart of Texas, Mr. Martinez gets up and says, basically, after we register your guns, we are going to confiscate them.
I've got a proclamation on behalf of the Mayor and City Council that we want to present, but I want to say a couple of words, and I'll be brief. First of all, to the gentleman that's dying for attention, someone needs to inform him that there is no gun ban currently, but because of the work that we're doing here today, we will make your sign legitimate shortly. So you hang on to that.
Mexico has a total gun ban and has had 60,000 gun deaths the last 6 years because only the government and criminals have guns. This Second Amendment is a right of all Americans, and it's despicable that these authoritarians creep around on the news and say, we just want reasonable restriction, register, when they're on record, all of them saying they plan to confiscate all our guns as part of a total government takeover of society. Please get this video out to everyone you know, because they want to act like they're being reasonable and, oh, it's no big deal, when on record, they really want to confiscate all our firearms. Alex Jones reporting for InfoWars Nightly News. How diabolical does it have to get that everywhere these people are in control, police in black uniforms, checkpoints, cameras, the state taking control of the kids, and they confiscate the guns, and then you got a pro-Second Amendment activist out there saying your plans to ban the guns. He's like, ha-ha, you're right. Once we get this done, then we get the rest. Counting on the ignorance of the public, counting on using those dead kids. Obama lying and saying 90% of the country wants to have their guns registered, because that's what they're calling for. And everywhere they've done it, they've taken them. Amazing. Here is the city council phone numbers. And it's important to let Mike Martinez and all of them, but also call into talk radio around the country. Get this video out to everybody. 974-2264, 512-974-2264. Call them and just say, listen, how dare you have police guarding the city council building, but then you say we can't be armed to protect ourselves. Go to Mexico or North Korea, where only the government has the guns, and it's a hellhole. Get out of our free country. You don't want the birthright of being an American. You're a La Reconquista, La Infosora person funded by the Ford Foundation to break up America. You're not even a Mexican. The globalists have destroyed your country, Mexico, Martinez. You're a shameful person. Shameful. The city council funds billboards saying revolution, La Raza. I mean, I'm just so sick of it. A real revolution would mean you were for guns for the people. I want guns for the Mexican people. I want Mexico to be a free country. How dare you be such a tyrant pig? And how dare the Austin police chief come over to my camera guys and say, don't you dare say we're trying to take the guns. You are up there with the Attorney General, who's openly said he wants the total abolition of American gun owners' guns. You're up there saying, hey, we just want to register you. Hey, we just want, you're either with us or you're with the criminals. You're with the criminals in the government. You've decided to choose to go with the tyrants who are trying a total takeover. I had tried everything. I'd cut back the amount of food I was eating. I was lifting weights and jogging, but nothing was working. My body was literally starving for minerals and trace elements as well as key vitamins. And as soon as I had that, I immediately could eat half of what I was eating previously and be satisfied. Now, there are hundreds of great products at InfoWarsTeam.com, but I want to point out the 3 that have helped me lose 37 pounds in just 2 months. Products like Beyond Tangy Tangerine, Pollen Burst, and Rebound. When I started taking the Tangy Tangerine and other products every day, I lost more than 37 pounds in just 2 months. Now that's results. I want to challenge my listeners to go to InfoWarsTeam.com and to order just 3 of their products, and you will see the changes in the way you look, feel, and in your appetite almost immediately. Start your journey to health and wellness today. InfoWarsTeam.com.